Send it. Okay.
What is going on, guys? It's your boy Davey D from Vaabs Podcast. I'm joined here with Dill, the cameraman and the main man with the vibes.
Cameraman is crazy.
I know, I felt bad. That's why I said cameraman with the main vibes. I panicked. And next to me, my beautiful host, Mr.
It's late. Just
You said you wanted to give yourself different names now.
Oh, no. That was for something else. Hello, it's Mr. Take That Risk back
There
again.
you go.
for another
Take that
podcast.
risk.
And this one, Davey, it's a bit, I'll be honest with you, it's a bit massive. Huh?
Yeah, it's definitely not what we were expecting for the year, but I'm beyond happy.
Yeah,
It's
beyond
happening.
pumped. Ladies and gentlemen, today in the studio, I can only describe these two gentlemen as absolute industry giants. If you ever think about the guys who did the damn thing, like you said, oh yeah, let's throw a couple parties and then throw even bigger parties and throw even more parties and bigger parties. We have those men in the studio here today. Guys, for the listeners, you've definitely attended at least one of their parties, throwing parties such as Park Acoustic, Droomland, Capital Craft Beer Festival, Lenterdag, and even Suzuki Jimny Festival. A bunch of festivals that honestly, all together, when you say them back to back, you think it's completely different people. But yes, it's the boys from Easy Agency. Guys, we have industry giants, Henk van der Schyf and Johan Auriacombe in the studio here today, guys. How's it going?
How's that, everybody? Hello.
How's it? Thanks
Oh,
for
yeah.
having us. For this podcast, I'll be known as Henk 69 420 666 711 all night long.
Inside. What a name.
Can I not do that the whole time? So, hey,
You can just call me H4.
Cool,
keep
yeah,
the numbers,
for
it's
sure.
fine.
I'm going to keep it simple. I'll just be Joe Han Solo.
Johan Solo. Oh, we love it. One of the parties that I did leave out in the intro was the one that we're here to talk about today, happening from the 13th to the 15th of March, lads. And that is Mielliepop, probably, David, one of the most befoxter venue parties I've ever seen in my
I
life.
love that
Yeah.
place so much. Oh,
Yeah, shit, man. We are like, that's the project we do that's just like, it's the best, you know?
Yeah.
It's, as you get older, you know, sort of the pressure gets higher and, you know, also having families, you know, like providing for them and stuff, you know. But Mielliepop is like, I don't want to say it's like a passion project, you know, but it's like, it's like the property we have that we can really still be 100% who we are and 100% do this for the passion of music and follow, you know, the music. You know, we don't feel that it's necessary to bring this headliner or this or that, you know. It's absolutely just, we get the best of the best that we like across all genres to partake and to, like you said, just put together the festival.
Well, Henk, you're saying it 100% right. So, you know, all our festivals, most of them now are like, you know, 10,000 people, and there's a lot of pressure on those events. When Mielliepop, we cap it. You know, we said it must never be more than 3,000 people.
Yeah.
It must stay honest. It must be a niche festival.
Exactly.
And in the end it becomes like a festival where you can really creatively express yourself still. It's not booking a headliner, it's not worrying about sales. You know the people are gonna come and they're coming for alternative music.
I think
And that's the one where we get to actually meet alternative bands of the new bands.
yeah.
And that's the best part of it. That's Mielliepop.
I think we always say that the headliner of Mielliepop is Mielliepop, you know.
That's
So it's just it's, and I think in today's like environment, there's actually not many festivals that's got live music and electronic music. You know, like back in the day,
It's
we had
separated.
Oppie and some other festivals, and even Rock in the Daisies used to be very integrated. And I'd say these days it's either electronic or a band festival.
Yeah.
You know, and the same goes I think in Cape Town as well. So we really enjoy it to have like the psych and garage scene, you know, the guys, Jethro and them from the Tasers and stuff, representing the stage. But then also, you know, inviting different promoters and stuff, hosting different floors on different days. And, you know, having different genres as well, you know. I get it if you're a dedicated person that only listens to techno music, but I personally enjoy all genres, you know, a form of all genres, you know.
100%.
And that's, I think, the beauty of Mielliepop is having, I would say, like the best of techno, but also, you know, there's different subgenres of techno. So having, you know, Jaren and Romario and them there with Wala, and then having the Old Dogs Toy there, and then having the commercial appeal of House of Kasim, you know, and the Timo ODVs and you know, Cinnamon and them, and then you know, having a drum and bass floor. We actually, thank you very much, Mark Niskawan. He hooked us up with an awesome international as well last minute.
Legend.
Yeah, so I mean that's just, I think, and then you look at somebody like Extra Emma that's been grafting away at AM Club, you know, with and movement is medicine and stuff, you know. So it's cool to have different, you know, sort of, you know, different pockets of people. And then having the older promoters, but then also, I don't want to use the word reward, but, you know, inviting the younger people that's really been hustling as well, you know, and giving them, I'm going to say the word opportunity, but it's not opportunity, you know, it's literally, it is a collaboration. And it's, for us, it's not opportunity, it's an honor having them there. But I think it's important to acknowledge that, you know, as the festival goes on, you need young people to keep on going, you know, because older people get families and then get married and children. I mean, and then they can't go to festivals anymore, you know. So it's for us having the right balance, and just like, I really feel that, like, if you look at the lineup, you know, it's not a Corona festival. It's not a, you know, it's personal, you know. But if you're in the industry, if you come to Bad Manners Weekly, you know, like it's sort of, if you're at AIM Club or at Ant Club, or, you know, it's if you're in the scene, you know, this is where it's at, you know?
Exactly.
I think what's nice about it, for me, the biggest thing is, even with saying with younger people, many people don't know what they like with music. They get told from 18, because for us, when we were 18, it was Deep House. We listened to Deep House for 5 years, like, do we even like Deep House kind of thing? And now it's like Afrotek's like very big in the scene. So it's nice to give people the opportunity then to be like, oh, I can listen to like this rock band I've never heard, and then they fall in love with the Tasers or something like that.
It's the funniest thing is always at the festival. It's like all the band people are raving, and all the ravers are like watching bands finally, you know, because they just, you know, the clicks they move in and stuff are so usually just go to the same spots, you know, which again, there's nothing wrong with it, you know. I'm not, but it that is like the beauty. Like I remember, like one year we like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and Oaks are having a good time. Then I'm like, yes, Fuzzy Gish, you know. And like, these guys are like in their 40s, you know, and like they're raving, you know. So yeah, that's awesome.
No, for me, it's just I had a point now. I was gonna say, I just forgot it. Oh, it's just, for me, it's just like, oh, I've lost it. I went blank. I'm so sorry. I was just so excited.
But I mean, to your point, like, I mean, our first Mielliepop was last year, and for me, like, I'm a drum and bass addict. So is David. And we found ourselves like literally at the, like you said, the band stage the whole time, like cool in the pool the whole time. And it's just like, there's so much stuff happening at the festival that's like music related, but then you have like other cool shit like lazy boying in the river. And
I normally try to sell it as like, imagine when you were like 9 years old and you went to McDonald's for the first time, and you're in the Ronald McDonald's place, and you just like, your parents aren't paying extra money to like play there, and like you just can have the best time ever. It's like that, but being grown up, and you're able to drink alcohol and swim and do fun stuff, you know?
I really wish you could capture everyone's first reaction when they're driving, because like it's a bit of a drive from Joburg, so it's like you're like, wonder where it's going to be, and then you eventually hit that like crest, and you're like, is this where we are? And it's like, this is where we are. It's like, oh my goodness.
I think the other thing also is, you know, the name Mielliepop, like it's so Afrikaans, you know? And I mean, it's like, if you hear it, like sometimes I'm like, I'm out and I do this thing when I'm intoxicated. I play rock, paper, scissors with people if they haven't heard about the festival before. And then as a promotional thing, I'm just like, if you beat me, I'll give you a ticket, you know, because I sort of figure like, I'd rather get this person there and convert them, you know. But then when I like try to sell it to them, I'm like, this festival called Mielliepop, and they're like, Millie, what? You know? And it's like 3 o'clock on the dance floor at Toy, you know, and like, huh? And then I'm like, wait, look at the phone. They're like, no phones on the dance floor. I'm like, sorry, do you want to go there? But you know, it's like, it's not that, you know. But I like it that it's not pretentious. It's like just a honest, it's just a cool fucking festival.
That's so beautiful.
When you guys took over, so you guys started your involvement in Mielliepop in 2016, right?
Yeah.
So when you guys took over the festival, what was it? Was it just a blind act of, this is the coolest thing in the world?
Yeah, so
I wanted,
it's a funny story, because out of all the festival properties we've got and had in the past, also, you know, Johan was lead with Grietfest and stuff like that, you know, so all the recent stuff, like many band orientated stuff, but we used to throw like a lot of raves as well back in the day, especially when bass music was more the flavor, pre-techno and deep house and Afro-tech wave. But the original organizers, they were basically party planners for a sheik in the Reunion Island, right? So they would work there, make money, and the one guy dated the farmer's niece, and they started the festival. So it probably had its origins in being pretty, not Afrikaans, but it was like a rock, blues and reggae festival.
Yeah.
And I remember I was invited to attend and I just play like a rock DJ set and stuff. And I got to the festival and I was just like, how the fuck can I steal this venue? You know, like what do I, like how can I get a hold of this farmer and be like, hey man, I can do something better or whatever, you know? And then we actually met the owners, and like they were really nice people.
Yeah.
And then they invited us to start collaborating. We saw that, listen, you've got an aging demographic and you'll never be able to grow. Because the reality about doing a weekend festival is like people, I remember like looking at Oppikopi, you're like, these guys must be making millions, you know, 20,000 people times $850 a ticket. That's what? 40 million rand, you know?
Easy, no
I'm not sure now.
problems.
Sorry, I didn't do that math. But, you know, it's the costs are a lot, you know, and it's often things people don't realize is it's not the rental, but it's like stuff like transport, staffing, you know, people coming from far. If you do a day festival in Gauteng, you know, your security staff, they're sleeping at their house, arriving for work and leaving again. Now you feeding, housing, you know, ablutions, all of that stuff. So we saw that for this festival to become financially viable, it would have to grow, and we realized that rock, blues and reggae is just too limiting, you know?
Yeah, it's not gonna
so we started introducing electronic music slowly with the Rave Cave, and then the addition, I must say the farm owner is also just such a cool guy because he's so proud of the farm, and he just keeps on upgrading things. Like we go for the next site visit and bam, there's like this beautiful deck built like where Cool in the Pool dance floor is now, you know? We didn't even ask for this, you know? And the festival goes all like, wow, that's such a nice addition, you know?
Yeah.
But what's also really nice is at the start when we started taking over, we sat down with the farm owner and then we co-invested to build 18 permanent showers and toilets. So I feel like that's the only festival you'll go to and like there's hot water the whole time, you know? And there's like actually your own in the permanently built toilets, there's in the showers there's actually a plug point for your hairdryer and you know, stuff like that. So it's really nice also just to, like, weather permitting, you know, have just lush green grass, you know, and just not, you end up home and not feeling like incredibly dirty or, and I mean nothing wrong with it, but it's there's some luxuries as well at the festival.
Oh, heated pools, green lawns, rave cave.
I feel like we're understating the rave cave because when I walked into that thing for the first time, I was actually like, they're not lying, it's a rave cave. Look at that, literally. And then I thought that it was like actually the rock formation that was there.
It's crazy because obviously you know, Fabio and Ryan and them from Toy Toy, they're very pedantic about sound and stuff, you know. There were initial discussions about void sound system and stuff. That's now already in 2016 and stuff. We initially had a JBL rig there, like an old VRX, and it was subpar.
It pumped.
But now
it was epic.
The last couple of years we've been getting in a D&B sound system, which is, you know, the standard brand that you'll see at all the outdoor events, like It's Personal, or well, actually they had a void line rate, up here specifically. But the thing about the Rave Cave is it literally is like the shape of a tweeter, you know. So it's like I don't think there's a place in Earth where sound could sound better. Like it's literally just the most perfect space. And I think what's also cool is it's still limited the size, you know, so you probably can't have more than 400 people in there, you know. So, and it's nice because people also regulate themselves. So there's many diehard people and like the front row crews that's there from start to finish. But then, like we said, like there's people that's normally come for bands and they stumble in there and they spend an hour or two and then they mission on and then they go up to the forest dance floor, you know, with a different genre and stuff. So, but it's cool.
What do you think it is like for each of you? what is your thing about Mielliepop that is the reason why people come to Mielliepop?
For me, Mielliepop it's because it's not too big. So, and we have a lot of good support from our sponsors. So we're able to give people, like we're able to give a handful people, let's say 2,500 people, a festival that's like a luxury festival.
Yeah.
They get this beautiful venue. The sound is good.
Yeah.
There's tents over the bars. The service is great. The bathrooms are clean.
Yeah.
You know, there's all these nice luxuries that you wouldn't get normally at a festival. And if you do get at a festival, you have to go to like an international festival or a big festival. Where here it's like a small little festival, but you're getting like the Ferrari. You're getting the best bands. You're getting the secret sets.
Yeah.
You're getting Toy. You're getting, you're getting reunion shows. You're getting, it's all secret stages. It's all these things. You can't even do everything over the weekend. You have to. There's parts you have to choose. I'm broken. It's day 3. I'm just gonna have to miss this cool secret stage that a boat takes you there.
Yeah.
And you just have to make peace, and your friends are gonna rub it in your face, and it just is what it is. You can't do all of it, but next year you'll go back and try again. And considering what it costs you to be there, it costs more to go to pay for camping at just like a place where there's no entertainment and no festival. It's just one of these magical little things. And then again, like Henk's saying, because every night has a different music genre. So you're finding a festival where it's so much genres mixed together. It's not, normally you go to a festival, camping festival, and it's maybe a trance festival, and they'll maybe have some techno.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but that's a very niche festival in their style, or a band festival. There's going to be blues and rock and some hard bands and maybe like a DJ playing classics. But Mielliepop, there's all of it together in this one space, and you walk away and you've made new friends, you've experienced new things, you've swum, you've done the lilo. That's for me. That's I think why people come back, and they make friendships. People come back with traditions. There's the pink Land Rover that camps every year on the same place, and that's his tradition. He will always camp there, even though sometimes the toilets overflow and go towards where he's camping. That's his spot. That's where he camps.
We're gonna cut that part out. It was only one time, okay? Actually,
But
anyway.
he stayed there.
Yeah.
He stayed.
I think for me, it's I'm gonna keep it simple. Us coming from Pretoria, if you look at the festival price, we launched with the buy one get one free, so it's like literally $450.
Insane.
It's that's ridiculous,
Yeah.
And then on top of that, coming from Pretoria, you gotta love Pretoria bar prices, eh? When I go out here like to Anjuna Deep or something, and you're like coughing out. What was it now at
90 rand
at Milk and
a drink.
Cookies? It was like $120 a tequila. You're like, okay, so I'll have one tequila.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'm gonna go home. I'm broke.
I'm just not buying anybody rounds. It's like every man for themselves. So it's just a fair festival. It's just like if you're there, I don't think any person can be there and be like, wow, these guys are milking us, and that's what I sort of said at the start as well, where this is honestly like, I'll almost tell the story where we put like 90% of my time in there to make 10% of the money through the year.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, because it's for us, it's like really like, it's for our souls. It's great, and like there's years where, because it takes time to become profitable as well, so putting in all this time and then, not breaking even, you're like, flip, what could I have done with this time, but every time like it's the festival, we're like, doesn't matter if we're making money, losing
Let's
money.
vote. Are we doing this again? Yes.
This is just the best ever,
I think the big thing for me is like both of what you said now. It just screams authenticity.
Yeah,
like I know it
100%.
sounds like such a hectic word, but for me it's just like, for the fact that you cap it at 3,000, because you're immediately limiting profits in that sense. And anyone who is money hungry and ready to just overcut people, we'd be like, raise the festival, it's fine, people can make a plan, kind of thing. Like, I'm not sure if you felt with Milk and Cookies, it just felt a bit like a money grab.
Yeah.
Not, it was
I
a
mean,
good
also
festival.
not hating, hey, Javier, if you're watching, I love your festival, bro. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
like, it's but also there's a space for everything, you
Yeah.
know, and that is what you sign up for. And
Yeah.
I mean, what a great international act and everything. And that show, the support lineup, you know,
that
actually
was
having
amazing.
DJ Lag and,
Massive,
you know,
man, yeah.
Desiree and stuff. It was so left field. So kudos for that. But I mean, yeah, I remember I arrived at the VIP area and I saw the queue for the howler and I was like, is this general, like,
Yeah.
this is already not nice. And then, oh, this is VIP, you know, like, what is this good for?
You at
know?
least weren't in the mud. I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
you.
But again, love your festival, Kavir. Great job.
Yeah, we need a rep.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the next one. Yeah. So you guys obviously getting to this point where you can throw this party consistently year on year on year. I almost want to take it back from all the way to the start of your guys, like almost jawling. Like we said, Johan, you were involved, or one of the main runners of Schyf, and now also Henk. Before that, you guys met, I believe, in where is it? 1072 Schumann Street.
Schoolman Street, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the Francis Bart Street.
Vegas.
The grandma's house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about like that time? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, probably too young. I am too. David and I just saw all the sick videos and the lineups.
Yeah, it's a
and
weird thing
it's
actually because we
insane.
don't really talk about that
So,
anymore.
so I just say, I had a band, Kid of Doom, and we were touring a lot and playing all the festivals. And then I started like a company, Griet, and we started doing like more band management and then events and stuff. And then Kid of Doom had a lighting engineer, Peter Rada. And then he was my housemate, and he came home one night. He's like, Johan, I was at this party tonight. It was crazy. It was like at a house. It was like in the backyard at a house. You have to go see this party. You have to go meet these guys. It was crazy. And then somehow it happened, and I went to go meet Henk. And then it was Henk and his brother Willie were renting their grandmother's house, and then they wanted to start like a recording studio, so they started the studio, ran out of funds, had to start some fundraising, and then started throwing parties. But it's like not like a party, it's like Juwels Fantasties in a backyard, you know.
Yeah, I mean, people. I think it's
People
like,
standing on the roof, you know.
I think it's difficult to comprehend, but to put things in perspective, it was an old school house in Hatfield,
Yeah.
but it was all businesses around. So some like there were some like apartments and stuff, but basically it was illegal as fuck. It was like similar to a Project X type thing. Also, not sure if people have watched that.
No, but
I
Henk,
hope they
but
have.
remember the Hotbox house was other side of the railway line. So it didn't fall under Hatfield Police, it fell under Sunnyside Police.
Yeah,
And
so-
Sunnyside Police, they had their hands full with other parties
so-
and other things. So this house was almost like in a little safe zone.
zone,
you know.
Yeah, but so we'd push about like between 400 to 800 people in the backyard.
I get scared when there's 5 people in my house.
So we started doing band shows, and then Johan was managing. They were managing Hazer, so that's just when the thrash electro scene also started happening and stuff. And he was up here for another show, and Johan just asked me after a band, can he play? And then that specific show, it was in the winter, and it's outdoor, you know, so it was cold and miserable, and like it not well attended. And then he was just like, Henk, just get any sound, because I was like, the sound company wants to pack up and this and that, and he was just like, get us any sound system and just let this guy play. So we literally had like a Sanyo hi-fi and put it in the kitchen. And it was like a kitchen with like a window to the living room.
Oh my
And we just like he started playing in there. And then
And
we
fucking
started,
slayed it.
yeah. And then from there we started doing like, it was a monthly party in the backyard, which was bands. And then like halfway through the month, electronic party in the kitchen and in the living room. So the kitchen was the DJ booth, and then it would like, with that and outside, you know, we'd fit like 200 people, 300 people. But I mean, it's
tight.
the living room is smaller than this room, you know.
Yo.
Those
and I
are
mean,
great. It was like me and Henk would DJ, and then one other DJ. So it would be like either Hazer or like PH5's first show or Dank's first show up north.
We had like
Any
Cybart
DJ's
and
first
like
show would be there in the kitchen.
and then it was actually like Johan was also like, Henk, I'm going to teach you how to DJ because then we can save money on lineup, you know. And I was like, huh? I
You
was
not
like,
learning is costing us money, right?
yeah. And Johan had like he had like a Korg mixer and like these CDJ 200s, and like I was like, he just like put me into the deep end, you know, and I was just like, I don't even know what beat matching is, you know, and like, but yeah, so that was that chapter of our lives, and we did it about 2.5 years, and then we got evicted. Yeah.
Unrelated. Had nothing to do with the parties.
Well, it had everything to do with the parties. It was basically my family like disowning us.
There's like we heard about something happening at the house. Is this true? It's like which part?
So we basically, there was like a wall where everybody drew on and all the artists signed and stuff, but it, needless to say, ended up with a lot of dicks and like a lot of like blasphemy stuff. And like my grandmom was really religious, you know, like my mom grew up in that house, and alcohol was not allowed there. Dancing was of the devil, you know. And then I'd find out my aunt is doing a site inspection, you know. And then like we run and just like put posters onto the worst ones, you know, and like try to cover it up. So yeah.
But the best part is Henk's uncle, who played a role in the eviction, he's a regular at Capital Craft now.
It's like I can't stay mad.
We haven't banned him
we
yet.
went full circle, you know. We were basically like, you know, the black sheep of the family, and like I think my uncle told us we'd like not welcome at our grandmom's funeral the day she passes away.
No,
But also gonna give it to my uncle at her funeral. He apologized to everybody for what he said to us, and he is a regular now, and he's a big fan, and they've got a guest house in Pretoria, so we actually book like all of the international and traveling artists in there, so it's got a happy ending.
Okay, I like that.
Family is important.
Yeah,
But in their defense, it must have been tough, like doing an inspection, and there's like a naked guy in the garden
We had-
planting, like doing the gardening to pay his rent. Like,
Yeah, I'll just tell this story. I've got a friend, Peter. So he's a good friend of mine, Peter. He's a conductor, and he was basically lying on the garage roof, naked, sunbathing. And then, like, my aunt gets a call from the business next door that's got 2 stories. And, like, listen, this whole office is, like, staring at, like, this guy's everything, you know, like, just, like, stuff like that.
terrible.
Yeah.
we think he should put on more sun lotion.
They just worried he's getting sunburned.
No, he's gonna burn. Goodness.
So pretty much when Henk and Willie got evicted from Hotbox, it kind of the gang split up a bit. Then Henk and Willie started Park Acoustics, and I went off and started Grietfest, and we went kind of a few years on our own, and then we reunited like 2 or 3 years later and started Capital Craft. So it was a cool story how we were in our 20s throwing illegal parties, and then went suddenly into a very legitimate business that pays tax.
How was the startup with Capital Craft? Like, how was the startup with that? Was it quite easy to build into Pretoria, or was it?
So Capital Craft was it started as a festival first.
Yeah.
So the awesome thing was we started Capital Craft in 2013, and it was right at the explosion of craft beer, around the world, in America, in South Africa, even Europe was a little bit behind. UK, it was big, and then I'd worked on a few beer festivals and helped a few beer festivals out as well, and then I wanted to start my own one, and then at that point I approached Henk and Willie, and I was like, we need to reunite the gang. Let's start this festival. And we launched the first festival, and it literally sold out within days.
Jeez.
And then after the first festival, we were like, no, but we've always wanted a venue. You know, Hotbox was obviously always the dream, but we've always wanted to do. So those days we were very young, so we always thought we'd start a club. Oh, thank goodness we didn't start a club. And then the opportunity came to start Capital Craft, and we started a restaurant. I mean, we signed a lease that I don't know how the landlords gave us a lease, because we were in our 20s. We were technically unemployed, actually. But they signed us. Maybe they had a different idea. And we signed the lease, started building the restaurant, got our liquor license, opened the doors, and literally it changed our lives. That was the last of it. We started paying like salaries to ourselves. And it just started growing and growing. And then Park Acoustics also melted in. Then Grietfest melted in. Then we started. We took over Lentedag, which was the Sonop Spring Day, and we took Lentedag from like a very a very like a amateur hostel festival to being like a insane festival in like 1 year. It became this professional event where there's literally like 13,000 students on a weekday. It's not even a public holiday for civilians. I mean, it's on a Wednesday. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then we just it's just amazing how these things work out in the end. So I know you guys are always dealing with a lot of young promoters and people and you really must just if that is your passion, just do it. It's like nothing is stopping you. Just do it. Try to do it better every time. Always think about the consumer experience. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Because if greed comes into play and the consumer experience goes down, you're screwed. Yeah. It goes away so quickly. And just when you lose money, and you do lose money, just pay your bills. Just pay it off. Make a deal. Go again. Pay it off, and then we now like I've never said this about myself, but we wimps now. We're like in our 40s. So I'm 40, you know. And we love it.
As a newly divorcee, I just want to say I'm mid-30s, okay?
Mid-30s.
But I know like in 6-7 years when my kids start getting into this stuff, I'm going to be the coolest dad in town, you know.
When they see those old Greenfest videos, they're going to be like, Dad, you threw this.
It's like
but just like take that risk. Like everyone is always scared to take the risk. Worst case scenario, you fail and you get a day job again. You know, that's worst case scenario, and that's not even so bad. You know, like most of the time that's actually the better one, you know.
100%. No, I think we definitely have that kind of like that want for it to be like, let's just send it like into the stratosphere. I mean, like there's a lot of podcasts in this country, but like not a lot that like do this kind of content, like cover the scene and like what the cool things that people are doing all over. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, we don't really have like a metric to measure against of like who to idolize or where we're going to get to or what does this look like in like 10 years for us, but we just have a dream and it's kind of just like
fast forward 2 years and you doing this at international festivals, you know, and that's not even so difficult. It's so easy. You send them an email and all you say is we'll pay our own flights. You know.
Bushfire. That's an international festival.
Yeah.
Let's go to Swaziland.
But technically in a different country. How far? That doesn't matter.
Landlocked, who cares?
Why asking these questions?
But I mean, you guys took the leap of faith, you know, and it's I think it's easier, but like a lot of people are just like, I don't want to say the word scared, but you know, a lot of people are like, I can do that. But like, can you do it? Can you put your money where your mouth is? And it's also like over the years, and it's the same with podcasts, you know, you see people come and go, you know, but it's often, I think another thing is just perseverance, you know, like even like Parkoustics, we ran that, the first one made money and then we like lost money 3 years straight, you know, and like we literally had to like work door at the photo and film expo, you know, or like sell water bottles at Oppikopi, or like we actually like kept that alive by working call center jobs, you know, for like a Indian scam company basically in Centurion, you know, but like just like do what you have to do to do what you love, you know, and like if that means having a day job, fuck, do that as well, you know. But I think life's too short not to make the best of what you have and like follow whatever passion you have, you know.
Also, like when we were like doing our research, I heard you say that quote again as well, like the do what you love, and if you can't do what you love, do what you need to do what you love. And I've never heard anyone put it like that, because everyone's always like, just take the risk, do what you love, do whatever, but sometimes you genuinely can't. Like it's like not a feasible thing, and like your parents are looking at you like you're 28, move out, and it's just like,
I know. I mean, you also acknowledge it's not in everybody, and also if everybody was just doing events, then there would be no patrons, you know. But I must say it's nice having like establishments like Bad Manners, and you know, like I feel it's an interesting thing. I think specifically the Joburg scene, you know, like I must say if I go out, I sort of like the compound around having coffee when there's like big parties and it's like there's Carfax, you know, there's Aim Club, there's, you know, Living Machines got maybe going, you know, and I sort of feel that the city is in a pretty good place in terms of, you know, just venues and just being able to go out and stuff. I mean, this is all just within one space, like-minded sort of train of thought of music, you know, and there's obviously a million, like there's actually so many spots, and I mean, we're not talking about the piano genre or, you know, like everything else, you know. So there's always that big debate between Joburg and Cape Town and stuff, you know. But I must say, I currently enjoy my partying in Joburg.
I was gonna say, because for me, I've always been, unfortunately, very left-sided on Joburg's way better. And then after like hearing everything you guys have done for like Pretoria and everything, it's like you miss out on such a big like chunk of like so much culture that was experienced in Pretoria as well.
100%.
Makes me like slightly sad. It's like I was just never wanting to go kind of thing.
And like also like when we were younger, we were going to like places like the Strip. So it's just like one little strip, and it's like we're driving from Joburg to Pretoria for that, and then we don't know what else is happening. Like we don't know about all these other cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this like viewpoint that because when we were like young, we'd go to Hatfield Square, and then it was just like every bar was blasting either like 80s oldies music or like Euro like Bump 74, or now that's what I call music, you know, just like the worst like European, you know, just commercial but horrible, you know. And then you go to Drop Zone, and then I know like the places on this trip, like it's not, the finesse is not there, you know. But I mean, over the years they've at least had like, you know, the like you know, the QRS collective and this and that, and
100%.
you know, at least the music is a lot better than when we were like 19, 20, 21, 22, you know, like it was really shit back then.
We'd go to places and there's like a hypnosis guy there.
And then there's like a lady selling you roses, and then like a person pretending they're deaf, you know, and like trying to hustle money, you know. So
at least Drop Zone delivered the Ghostbusters
first time I saw that, I would know it was a scam.
Yeah, so but yeah.
I think for us it was one of the big questions, because it's like, because you guys have been like so deeply involved in the culture and everything, it's like, how have you seen it change over the time? Like, has it changed for the better?
I think it's so for me an interesting thing is a couple, like one, young people dress a lot better than back in the day. If I look at like photos from like 2010, it looked like everybody just went to a Luma party, you know, and had like a sweatband, and like every girl had like, you know, like a jeans like skirt, and like a lime green neon shirt, or like a yellow, or like it
or a tuck shirt,
and the guys were wearing like the button shirts with like the pointy shoe and this and that,
and the fedora hat.
Yeah, no.
when salmon shirts came out, it was like Pretoria was taken over.
So first, I think dress sense. Like I'm just like, fuck, people are good.
Good message.
And then, I mean, I think music policy has like, it's a lot better. But I think with that comes like just the use of internet and social media, you know, because you were like so restricted of what is possible. I mean, those days people were literally playing CDs, you know, like now people don't even know what a CD is, you know. So it's like with Instagram and TikTok and everything else, you like, if you're into something, you can find that and then keep on feeding what you like, you know.
100%.
So music is a lot better, I'd say. And then I sort of think as well, is just when we were younger, band music was like, I would say, the main thing. And then like, because we were exposed to so little good electronic music, you know. And I'm not saying there wasn't good electronic music. Pretoria was limited, but you know,
but there was no EDM or none of that stuff even existed.
But obviously, and I mean, the guys like, you know, G-Force and, you know, Dogstar and them, I mean, they've been pioneers for years, you know. So it's always been there, but it was really hard to find like good music. Yeah.
If I have it right, Toy, I think actually Pretoria boys, hey.
I think just Graham lived in Pretoria but so basically it used to be a lot of band music, and the take I've got is that it's way more electronic music now under the young people, which is also understandable. You know, just it's more basically it gives you more opportunity to chat to people and socialize and chat to people opposite sex or same sex or whatever, you know, but you know, have a vibe compared to just looking at a band. And I mean, still love band music and stuff. And then the last thing is also just, I do feel young, like people now are like a lot more respectful of like inclusivity, respectful about people's spaces, respectful in terms of, you know, like violence, gender-based violence, and just like there'll always be people that get fucked, you know, but I do feel that like if I go night out, and I mean it is curated spaces, but like if you go out to Ant Club or all the other places, you know, it's, I really feel it's well curated, and it does feel to me, although I am fucking huge, but I do feel pretty safe there, even though I'm the biggest guy by far. But you know, it's like I haven't seen a fight at like these spaces in forever, you know, and it will always be there. But I feel like that's something different. It just feels like younger people in the right spaces, they don't fight, you know.
Don't need to fight,
we can have discussions on podcasts rather, you know.
The old times.
Fists. Yeah, 100%. But I feel like that's such a big part of like event throwing and stuff like that people don't really get into, is like the safety of it. Like when you feel safe at a party, you'll go to that party like consistently over and over again.
I think,
but like I feel like the second you feel like, no, it's a bit dodgy there's so many fights, this and this, like you can convince yourself easily how to take it out. Like, is that something that you guys put also at like the forefront of your minds when planning?
It's absolutely, and I mean the fighting thing is, it's one thing, and like certain type of event we just maybe attract that more than other, but you know, I think there's a big war on stuff like pickpocketing and stuff like that, and it's just a reality, you know. But you have to be proactive with that, you know. From our side, we employ like undercover teams, but not like from the security company, but you know, other guys that look normal, and it's almost like it takes a
8 bodyguard,
you know, but guys that go out and you know, it's if you know what to look for, it's easy to pick it up and to even try prevent it. You know, if a guy's going to the bar and just ordering a Coke and wandering on his own, you know, and just looking, you know, like, what's this guy doing, you know? But it's an ongoing thing, you know. But it's definitely for us that, and especially keeping, you know, just letting people, and especially women, feel safe as well. You know, it's crucial, and I think if you lose that, then your event quickly starts going downhill.
Especially people talk, and it's not even like they talk like a lot. It's just like, this is the actual experience I had, and it could be terrible for the brand overall if you're not taking care of it.
But let's say like we spend a lot of money on security, but we also, with our big festivals, we do have the buy-in from the city. So we have a lot of support from the police as well, and the local security companies.
I think to put things in perspective, what we're doing also for Mielliepop this year is at each of the 3 areas where you can exit the main festival area towards the camping, we've through the night we're going to have a dedicated security person and then 2 additional security people that's just there to help any festival goer, but specifically women as well, you know, because it's just people do get intoxicated, and it's just important for people to get to their right tent safely, you know, and so that's something that we're doing this year, to just add to what we're already doing, you know, and it's
proactive, 100%. That's beautiful.
So Henk, you were talking about Pretoria and the dress sense in the early 2000s. So Pretoria, I read the other day, is the 2nd fastest growing city in South Africa. Like Pretoria has in the last like 10 years, Pretoria has like expanded so fast, where there's areas, let's say like Menlyn Main. 10 years ago, I was still putting up like sticking up posters with glue on power boxes where Menlyn Main was, and it was like a neighborhood. And you go there now, and it's like a massive mini Sandton with arenas and all these things. And if you take, when Covercraft opened, when we opened our restaurant, it was us, Then there was within a 2-kilometer radius. There was us, there was Lucky Rodrigo's, there was the Small Alfies, and that was it. Now there's like the Village with all these awesome bars, and there's Lucky Rodrigo's still there, and there's the club, and there's Menland Main, there's all these places, and then Capital Craft is still like busy. We're still busy with customers every day. It's just Pretoria has just become this. It's just the nightlife has exploded in Pretoria.
Yeah.
And then also, Henk, when we were young, another thing, the only place we were getting like influence from was literally from your local CD shop.
Yeah.
Like we had in Pretoria, we had CDs in Hatfield. You'd go there and CDs had like around the corner, they had like the punk section, and there you could buy punk albums like Rancid and these things. And that was your influence on music. So it's amazing to see what Pretoria is today. I think if we had to time travel back 15 years to Pretoria, would be actually a bit. Anyone that says, oh, the old days, they'll travel back 15 years, spend a week in that Pretoria, and you'll be so bored after it. You'll be like, okay, I take it back.
Yeah, I want
to go back to my normal Pretoria. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You know.
That's so nice. It's nice to see at least it's changing for the better. It's never wanted to be for the worse.
Yeah, 100%. So in terms of like obviously the Pretoria scene and the fact that it's changed so much, I don't imagine you guys think like that could ever, the way that you guys have come up could be replicated. But like, what are lessons that you guys learned when you were coming back that you think will never change? Like in terms of like throwing parties, throwing events, all of those.
I mean, I think we said a couple earlier in this podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's like something I would say is that we like Jaron and Romario and them, you know, and Bongani.
Yeah.
Legends.
We used to.
Shout out them.
We basically actually added this thing called Ambassador Project, you know, and what basically is we realized that we need to pass on, you know, knowledge and stuff and help younger people to create things like this as well, you know. And out of the group, most fell away, but I'm very proud of Romario and Jaron, you know, specifically. Back then it was Suede Shift and how they kept on going, and they were just dedicated with what they love, which is their brand of techno. And then, you know, they grafted, and like there was many events that wasn't successful and stuff, and then finally they put in the time, and then, you know, started with Wildlife, and then now they've built something really respectable and something 100%. That, you know, is the word is respectable, you know. I think I've got this thing because all my best friends live in Joburg. So they always make fun with me and say, Joburg is like New York and like Pretoria is New Jersey, you know.
Which is
Philadelphia.
Which I'm sure, but like at least the Sopranos came from New Jersey. Yeah. But so it's Pretoria will always sort of be like the little sister of Joburg in a way, maybe. But it's definitely like just Romario Jaron to me is like that case of they were committed in what they love, and they just kept on doing it, you know. And they were patient and had perseverance and dedication, you know. So ultimately, I think that is that. But I would go out to say it would be good if there's more younger people trying to push new things, you know. It's basically there's like the big Afrikaans scene and stuff, which is like the Afrikaans is groot and the Pretoria feest and this and that and that, which like let's not like
we don't need to go
but fuck those racists, but but then there's and then there's like our friend Robert that had Fokhof Bar, and like he does like more metal shows and stuff like that. So it's like it's almost like us there like doing our thing, and then, you know, sometimes like Kunye and stuff that comes there and stuff. But I definitely say, with like, I'm not sharing advice, but I'd definitely put it out there that I think there's opportunity, and like if you want to do something, just go out and do it. And I'd go so far to say that fucking reach out to us any day. We all about sharing knowledge, you know. A healthy scene that's a good thing, beneficial, you know. If you like the lone person doing things, that's not good, you know. My friend Gert, that he had Great Dane there in Braamfontein, and when he opened it up, you know, like Kitchener's was still running by Andrew the DJ and stuff, and it was sort of, you know, it was like, is this going to like be competition and steal like, you know, clientele and stuff? And that's not the case, you know, like the more better people there are, the healthier, like the more people go out, you know, the more it's part of society. It's like almost like this compound now, you know, with Babylon and, you know, Gallery and this, you know, it's like now this is now a great space to go to because you can jump between everyone and
it's what it used to be back in the day when like 86 was here, but I feel like now Bad Manners is more centered towards like the actual music. Like 86 was a little DJ and like it was more about the bar environment, but this is like Bad Manners. Shane always says it, like it's about the music at the end of the day. It's about pushing the specific idea.
And for me, shout out to Bad Manners because like for me it's, you know, when I started going to I always get the name, it's a Parktown, Parkhurst. I was like, yeah, that's like, even when we were younger, we said like, if we do a music bar, you know, and have DJs every single night, and have, you know, have it curated and having music for the people, you know, having that people have access, and there's night that's charging entrance and there's night that's not charging, and just having, you know, your residents and stuff. So I must say this space is brilliant, and
So Henk, I would agree. I would like to see more young promoters, more guys printing flyers, handing out flyers on campus. You know, when we were young, there wasn't social media. We had to print the flyers. You had to walk up to someone and convince them to come to the event. Where now people like make an event on Facebook, and then no one comes to the event and they're like bleak about it. Where there needs to be more promoters just throwing small parties, starting with small parties. You'll carry on throwing a party and suddenly your party starts getting full. It starts getting packed. Like when Grietfest stopped, I was when we ended Grietfest, I was like, yes, I'm excited to see who's gonna like grab up this void that Grietfest is now leaving. And then no one grabbed it. No one took it. And I was a bit disappointed because there was such a big opportunity for young promoters to take that opportunity and do a festival and start going for it. So there definitely needs to be more promoters, but also marketing isn't like a launch event, sit and wait for customers to come. You need to like freaking go out and talk to people. It's sales. You need to promote. You're a promoter, and it would be nice to see more promoters inviting, you know, more flyers, and just there's a lot more space for it.
A lot more like physical interaction as well to get the people going.
100%. And I say that also, like at parties, it just makes it's I don't know what it is, but it makes such a big difference to talk to the person who's throwing the party. So like I think it was 2 years ago we worked the Hey Neighbor festival, and like Warren, an absolute like legend, absolute G. But like on the last day, I remember I just saw him sitting on a beanbag and someone was trying to sell him velos like early in the morning, and the festival hadn't packed out or anything. And like just talking to him, even the part of the story that I left out is when we arrived, we saw him. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm excited to just have a good time, like a great, and like his presence and his comfort and all of that made us feel like also like, even though we're stressed because like you want us to like work this party, it's like we're excited to do it now because you're excited, you know what I mean? And like even a place like Bad Manners, like Shane, his passion like is the reason why we're here like almost every single weekend. And it's just like to see you guys like talk about the parties that you're throwing, and like the fact that you love it is like, I feel like it resonates so much with people because we kind of don't get to see that side so much. Before we started the podcast, we didn't really speak to like many promoters. We didn't even know what promoters were. We just went to our local Madison Avenue and then that was it. But like now it's just like so, like, I don't know.
Trust me, you'll see us having a good time at Mielliepop.
That would be a testament to it.
Basically, I have like basically round 2 with everybody I lost rock paper scissors to. You know?
Next thing, you have to pay me $900.
Five's alive.
Double or nothing.
That's beautiful.
And you're now making your return to Mielliepop with Kid of Doom. How are you feeling about that as well?
Oh, lekker. Yeah, so obviously Kid of Doom was the Varsity band when I was in Varsity. And it's actually funny because this year, right, because everyone lives in different countries now. And then this year, just by chance, everyone is in South Africa at the same time. And then I mentioned to Henk, I said, hey Henk, well, everyone's in South Africa. Let's book Kid of Doom. And then going through my emails, I actually saw that this is actually something we wanted to do already in 2015. So finally, 2015 Kid of Doom booking has happened now in 2024.
Oh, fantastic. So
But I'm
exciting.
excited for it. Kid of Doom, yes, you guys must come watch it. It's such a, we're instrumental, like psychedelic, like post-rock band, but it's
I think it's cool how, because like in the band scene and stuff, everything goes in circles as well, and I sort of feel indie was a big thing a couple of years ago with Short Straw and Tutus and the rise of Matthew Moll and stuff, and it's actually been like a bit, it went down, and then it's smaller genres and stuff, but like garage with Psych Night, and then with tasers and all of that stuff, that sort of, it's not the biggest scene, but it had a loyal support and stuff, and that's why we do book a lot of garage and psych rock and surf rock and bands like that. But within that, like Kid of Doom slots in perfectly with that, So
Full
it's,
circle, jump back in.
yeah, so it's quite cool with what is popular, and the majority of shows at anything from the Irish to band shows at Sognage or, at Railways or Vaabs or whatever, like majority, or at Smoking Kills, a majority of those shows are like, hard garage shows, and although I wouldn't say Kid of Doom, it's like, Kid of Doom's what? Space.
we always said we were deep space champion pop.
Yeah. So lots of synth and stuff, but like it's still loud and
It
it's
works
it's
well.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, 100%. That's gonna be a bang.
And Kid of Doom, I think Johan didn't mention it, but so when I'm also a big fan, and when I was young, so it was like basically I think probably one of the first only instrumental bands, so no vocals and stuff, but they tour with like their own lighting engineer and their own VJ, so like,
It's amazing.
and that's a big selling point, having like your own VJ making your own visuals for only your show.
It's even more of an experience.
And he's on stage with the guitar,
Oh yes.
like he's rocking out the loudest, and then I've been like out, and then people are like, yeah, that guy's like slaying there, like thinking he's like performing like piano and stuff, and like, no, he's playing the visuals,
That's so hardcore shit, man.
It's so exciting.
Would you say that's the part of this Mielliepop that you're the most excited for, is your reunion now?
I'm excited for the reunion. There's quite a lot of people that have contacted me that I haven't seen or spoken to in years, who are coming to see the band again, the reunion,
nice.
and to see because there's like all the varsity chums, So it's like to see everyone again, and it's always fun to perform again.
I think it's
Yeah.
funny. Last year when we had PH Fat, like obviously we've grown up with Mike and them, we sort of similar ages and stuff, and we've come a long way, and like their first shows up here and stuff, and then Mike is mostly producing and like doing for other artists, and and I'm sure he does a lot of corporate work and stuff, but I mean PH Fat's always just a great vibe, and the production is insane, and it's always a great act to see live. But it was funny, last year Mielliepop, like there was some younger kids watching them, and they're like, did you see that band like Mielliepop, and they're PH Fat, and they're like, they're gonna go far, and like thinking they're like a brand new act, like,
Buddy, I don't
man, like,
He's gonna make it.
listen, they've been around 15 years.
for
like,
the first and last.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's beautiful, man.
That's I just love the fact that they still have like that strength as well to still draw a crowd as well. Because even with A-King now, they're coming up to Joburg later on in the year. Like for the fact that you talk to people and they're so excited for it, it's so nice to see that bands in South Africa still have such a good presence.
Like a loyal fan base as well,
So are we going to see you guys on the Lilos there at Mielliepop, eh?
Lilos and Speedos.
Every Speedos.
Little speedos, little skinny dip.
Yeah.
We found your bucket list of things to do when you go to Mielliepop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so we're gonna see if we can't complete all of those.
I think that's a good one.
Some of them seem like I shouldn't. Like the skinny dipping in the lake seems like maybe wait for the right time of the morning when no one's up.
There's everyone jumping by the river.
But the Speedos are for the rave cave, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to wear clothes in that place.
Just remember, I said there's hot showers the whole festival, so just take a hot shower before you have to go skinny dip, and then
Yeah.
everything's good. Eh?
Yeah, I saw you with this. Are you okay down there?
Yeah.
It was cold, okay?
It was cold, leave me
This is
alone.
real men stuff, okay?
Oh, you wouldn't know about it. And Henk, what are you most excited for about this Mielliepop? What's getting your energy up?
So I'm going to be honest. So when it comes to Mielliepop, I do a lot of the pre-work, work with like the programming of artists and then also the production work and stuff. So it was never a formal discussion, but it's sort of like a understanding that I've got free reign to just have a good time.
Don't talk to
But
me
what
about
I-
my festival.
No, just as organizer. But what I do is I'm awake till last, so I do close the stages. You know, I make sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in what state I am. It's a jolly good state, but so
That's why sometimes the stages close in the morning.
yeah. So basically, I prep everybody like, listen, the store is like closing at 4, and then if the vibe is there and I'm on a vibe, then it's often like, yeah, no, I think we can go an extra hour. You know,
I'm gonna push someone right now. I'm just gonna
yeah.
go to the rave cave quickly.
I'd be like, I think I go a bit louder, you know. So that I think I'm also just excited to. We've had great promoters and crews doing nights on floors and days on floors. But this year we had to mix it up a bit and get new people in.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with the old ones. I love everybody from Alex Liu with Cytronica and Rian and Colleen with Disco de Moda and stuff. But I am really excited to have Wandering Tribe one night in the cave. Also, Gabe and them from Living Machines are doing the Thursday at the pool, and like I said, Emma and them with Movement That's Medicine. So, and then actually, yes, Wila is also doing for the first time a night in the forest and stuff. So I'm overall just really excited for the acts that's coming, the new blood that's coming.
Yeah.
I know like Ryan them were also saying like, listen, they also haven't sent me the full lineup yet, but they said also they're pushing like some new flavors and some new residents from Cape Town that they're planning on bringing
so
up and
exciting.
stuff. So I think I'm excited for the music, and what I also just appreciate is the buy-in from everybody, because with a festival like that and the size and also like what we charge for ticketing and stuff, we're not like, it's not the biggest set fees everybody's getting, like everybody is buying into what this festival is, and I really appreciate that. So basically I try to say I'm most hanging in a pool in my Speedo listening to music.
There you go.
That sounds absolutely beautiful. Man.
That's the best way to do it, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We need Lilos this time, though. We didn't bring Lilos last time.
No,
and
it's a must.
I was so angry. I saw everyone on there. I was like, can I have one?
So Caitlin pitched the idea for the Lilo link up, and
Yeah.
it's always like there's a new idea, and then, it was like, and last year it was only one day, so we'll do it now every day, 12 o'clock. There'll be a meeting point, and then, it's like 200 people on floaties, just like going through,
That's going to be so much fun.
And then there's also one or two new things with the sponsors that we're doing that I don't want to talk about because I'm scared it doesn't come through. Then people are like,
promised.
where was that? But it should come through. And again, it's just the sponsors we have are amazing, and it's not like in your face, like it doesn't feel like a billboard, or it doesn't feel
Flash.
like a expo of this, but the festival is not possible without them. And all of them, the value adds they do, in terms of the Corona Secret Island experience, Jägermeister, with the silent disco they do, Red Bull with, the zip line, and the contributions towards the rave cave, and one or two other things that we're discussing and hopefully coming off. Vian, I hope you're listening. And Q, this better work. So it's you should come to Mielliepop,
Definitely.
Come
basically.
to Mielliepop.
Listener, if you're watching this and you're still listening to this podcast so deep in, you've lasted how many minutes? You can just as well just commit to
Yeah,
Mielliepop.
may as well. Leave it up with
And I'll give you my Instagram details, or just hit me up and we can play an online rock paper scissors even. And
Oh, I love that,
Or
man.
even saying,
And in the beginning of this episode, in the T's and C's, you must say, every time someone says Speedo, you must drink a shot.
yeah. Speedo.
Speedo,
Welcome, have a great night.
Speedo.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, gents, thank you so much
Thank you.
for your time. This has been absolutely amazing, absolutely eye-opening for us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're definitely excited for David, David, look down that camera. Tell them what you're most excited for, quick.
I'm excited to be able to just sit in a lake that doesn't have weird stuff in it, or river that doesn't have weird stuff in it, and just lays about.
Lays about. Have
Lays
a
about.
relaxed
Sorry.
time. That's a beautiful. I'm excited to get absolutely obliterated. I'm gonna start drinking.
That's actually what I meant.
Yeah, no, but exactly. No, but I think I'm just excited for, because the first time we went, it was like a boys' trip, like a lads' trip, and like I was just like, that was such a beautiful memory for me, and like it's just exciting because we're doing it all over again. And it's like to do that, and then also to be doing what we love, like this kind of stuff there as well. Then yeah, it's gonna be an absolute amazing time. Yeah.
I think we need to confirm a set time where we're just having some Jaeger shots, you know? So let's now, who's your favorite act?
Yeah.
Or maybe let's, you guys said you're into drum and bass, so we're going to have Krakota performing.
Oh shit!
It's
an exclusive.
Yeah, so he's starting 12 o'clock
Yeah.
on Friday night at the Forest. So
Okay.
I think Johan is literally finishing just before 12. So 12:15, the four of us are having Jaeger shots, okay,
Oh,
at the
I'm so
bar.
excited.
All
That
right,
sounds beautiful.
deal.
Deal.
Done deal.
Done deal.
Caught on camera.
Speedo.
Speedos.
Oh, goodness gracious. Henk, Johan, once again, thank you. A
Thanks,
massive,
guys.
beautiful thank you to you guys for pulling through. Guys, we've been Vaabs Podcast. David, take us out of here.
To all you beautiful people, don't leave this without buying a ticket.
Don't
I will
leave it.
find where you live.
We'll find it.
I'll kiss you goodnight, but you have to buy a ticket.
Henk will be there as well. He'll be playing rock, paper, scissors. Don't be scared in your dreams.
For Lebs and Dill, I've been Dave.
Oi,
For
oi.
Henk and Jan, we've been Vaabs Podcast. Thank you so much, guys. We'll check you there.
Oi, oi. And as always,
Keep
vibing. Oi, oi.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We had so much fun.
Okay,
eh?
thank you.